Remembering Kenny Rogers, how he spent his final days, will truly break your heart, not because of how he left this world, but because of the quiet grace, reflection, and immense love with which he prepared to say goodbye. Known across the globe for his unmistakable voice, legendary storytelling, and a career that spanned over 6 decades, Kenny Rogers was more than just a country music icon. He was a symbol of warmth, wisdom, and resilience. Behind the fame, awards, and sold-out arenas stood a man who, in his final days, stripped away the spotlight to focus on what truly mattered: family, peace, and making peace with the life he'd lived. After announcing in 2018 that he was retiring from music due to health concerns, Kenny quietly withdrew from the public eye. The energetic performer who once commanded the stage with hits like The Gambler, Lucille, and Islands in the Stream had grown visibly frail. Suffering from multiple health complications, including bladder cancer, Rogers chose not to draw attention to his suffering. Instead, he spent his last chapter surrounded by those he loved most, in a peaceful home in Sandy Springs, Georgia, far from the noise of Nashville or Las Vegas. According to those closest to him, Rogers approached his final days with humility and reflection. He reportedly spent hours sitting by the window, listening to the wind in the trees, watching old westerns, and playing old vinyl records that reminded him of his youth. But what mattered most to him was family. He made every effort to be present for his twin boys, Justin and Jordan, cherishing their laughter, their questions, and the simple joys of watching them play. He shared quiet moments with his wife, Wanda Miller, with whom he had found true peace and unconditional love. Theirs was a marriage built on trust and patience, and in those final days, Wanda rarely left his side, holding his hand through the pain and the silence. Friends and colleagues say Rogers spent time writing letters to the people who mattered to him: his children, old bandmates, and even fans who had impacted him deeply. In those handwritten notes, he expressed gratitude, regrets, and wisdom, hoping to leave something behind more enduring than fame: a legacy of truth, love, and honesty. He didn't want fanfare, one close friend said. He wanted love, real love, from the people who knew him beyond the music. Even in his weakened state, Kenny Rogers never lost his humor. He would crack jokes with nurses, tease his family, and make light of the fact that even in dying, he was still trying to look good for the cameras. But when the cameras were gone, when the house was still, and the world outside had slowed to a hush, Rogers would sit quietly, often holding a guitar, strumming softly, not for a crowd, not for applause, but for his own soul. He passed away peacefully on March 20, 2020, under hospice care, with family at his side. His death was not a spectacle, it was a gentle, graceful exit from a life lived fully, loudly, and lovingly. Remembering Kenny Rogers isn't just about the music, it's about the man who, in his final days, taught us how to let go with dignity, love, and a quiet smile.